Hey everybody, and welcome to the video. So this is Josh here, aka Bearded Fat Loss, and today we're going to be talking about how I set up my macros. So I get a lot of questions from folks with how many calories should I eat, how much protein should I eat, how do I set up my macros. I know I've talked about it in other videos, but I thought it would be really nice to be able to have this video stand alone by itself to be able to link and to show people and explain. I just got done filming an episode of Explore, so I figured I'd take advantage of this awesome background that I have right now. Nothing beats hanging out in the woods for a couple hours on your day off. Really nice and relaxing. Alright, so back to the topic at hand, setting up macros. And I will preface this by saying I know there are other ways to do it that are perfectly valid. I just wanted to explain how I do mine and what has worked best with me for setting it up. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is figure out how many calories you burn in a day, and that number is called your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. That's just how many calories you burn each day from normal activity. You need to do two different things to find that number. One, there are calculators online. If you Google TDEE calculator, it'll ask you a few questions about your weight, your height, your activity levels, and it'll give you a rough idea of that calorie burn. But then beyond that gives you kind of a starting point to experiment, because everybody's bodies are a little bit different. So that'll give you a number to start with and try, then kind of find for yourself what's gonna work best. I need to pause right now though. Check this out, everybody. See if I can get that in focus here. Sorry about that, I had to stop. That mountain view was amazing. Yeah, so once you have your TDEE calculated, the next step I like to take care of is making sure I hit my protein. Now, calculating my protein, I aim for 0.7 to 0.8 grams per pound of lean body mass. It's a lot less than a lot of other people I know, but honestly, I have not noticed any negative impact, and I think it's a little bit easier to adhere to without having to worry about getting 200 grams of protein. Yeah, so that would be my main recommendation, 0.7 to 0.8 grams per pound of lean body mass for your protein. Yeah, and with fat and carbs, after you have your protein done, you have a little bit of room and a little bit of flexibility depending on what works for you. Yeah, so for fat, I usually will recommend folks at least 50 grams at a bare minimum, and more depending. You want to make sure not to drop your fat down too low, because that can really negatively affect your digestion, and it can really affect a lot of the hormones in your body. So you want to make sure at least have 50 grams at a minimum. I usually go a little bit above that, but I do tend to prefer having a little bit extra carbs over a little bit of extra fat, but I know plenty of people that are the opposite. Yeah, so the third macronutrient is going to be carbohydrates. And for me personally, I always will make sure and take care of my protein, and then I'll take care of my fat, and then I fill the rest of my calories with carbs, because you need that set amount of fat at a minimum, and you need that set amount of protein at a minimum, but you have a lot more flexibility with carbs versus the other macronutrients. So I usually, if I'm messing around with different amounts of calories, it's coming or going from carbohydrates. So if I'm dieting down and I need to lower my calories more, I'm gonna take it all out of carbohydrates for the most part, or I'm gonna add it into carbohydrates if I'm adding calories. So that is really it. It's nothing that complicated. I think figuring out your TDEE is a little bit harder and a lot more important. For weight loss, the total calories is really what matters. You have those macronutrients there to ensure that you're retaining the muscle or building muscle, and to make sure your hormones are being released properly, and to make sure that you have that carbohydrate energy. So they're all there for a purpose, but weight loss is strictly going to come from the amount of overall calories that you're going to eat. And if you're ever feeling really overwhelmed by tracking macros, if you're just starting off, at least focus on calories. It's going to be a little bit easier on you. and it's gonna have the same weight impact. And then as you feel comfortable, start tracking your macros as you feel comfortable. That is gonna be it. Yeah, really simple. I just know I get a lot of questions about that, so I wanted to have that separate video. Yeah, and this is a rare occurrence. I am off work today and get to wear my normal clothes in the video for once. I feel like I get in these habits. I really don't wear business casual 24/7, everybody. But leave a comment below. Let me know what's happening with you. When's your next day off? What do you got going on? And make sure to like the video if you did. Helps me out a lot. And be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. I put out new videos twice a week. But until next time, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.